Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of our JustNoMil. In today's episode, JNML had a private chat with DH about my parenting skills and our marriage. Twice now my newborn been taken off me and handed to MIL. I'm 35 weeks and 4 days pregnant. MIL still doesn't know. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. JNML had a private chat with DH about my parenting skills and our marriage. Hi all. I really like this community, and whilst my situation isn't anywhere near the situation of others, I just need to shout into the void. I've always had a really good relationship, I thought, with my in-laws. My SIL was a just yes and my MIL was mostly just yes, sometimes maybe. I think it's in my post history about her issues with her alcoholic husband. However, today she has completely become JNML to me, but I don't know if I'm overreacting. I had a baby in January, and he is the loveliest, sweetest little thing. A sweet, placid temperament, and he never really fusses and cries. The only thing we have issues with are my severe PPD, and his inability to sleep properly. He's never slept through the night and his naps are a proper fight, so DH and I are two very sleep-deprived individuals. I saw my Giselle yesterday and she asked about my PPD, to which I spoke a little about how DH and I had discussed me going back to work as I really miss it, but DH doesn't want the baby in nursery so young when I could have the full first year of his life off, which I completely agree with. I don't want to miss milestones when I've got the chance to be involved. We moved on and spoke about other things, and I thought nothing of it. Today my JNML popped round to look after the baby whilst I went and did some shopping, and on the off chance DH was off work. MIL had texted DH wanting a chat, so DH said they could have it when she came over. MIL came early and didn't mention anything, so I figured it was a private conversation and made myself scarce. I return and DH is not happy. The chat ended up being a lecture on him not allowing me to return to work, and I need to send the baby to nursery ASAP. It was then a lecture on my parenting skills and how I need to drop naps, not contact nap, wing better, etc. 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 MIL also doesn't believe the problem is sleep deprivation, and DH isn't telling her everything, and our marriage is in a bad place. I think she believes I treat him as a doormat and take advantage, as I often see my friends and go out and participate in non-baby related activities as advised by my GP to alleviate my PPD. DH doesn't go out as often as he's a homebody, but I always encourage him, and he knows he could go anywhere and do anything. What hurts me most is no one is talking to me. I waited for JNML to start the chat whilst I was there, but she purposefully waited until I left. Everyone has opinions on my working, my parenting, my marriage, but no one wants to talk to me? I felt like I was part of the family, but clearly not. When DH tells them everything is great between us, they tell him he's lying. I don't have any family, so I really thought I had found a place. Turns out I'm only worth talking to if it means access to the baby. I've put JNML and SIL on a timeout. DH has told them they hurt my feelings, but I know I won't get an apology. I won't pretend their behavior is okay, so the only option is to go no contact for a little while and let DH handle it all. I'm going to eat my body weight in chocolate and cuddle my kittens. Twice now my newborn been taken off me and handed to MIL. I'm 12 days postpartum and I still can't really walk. All I do is go to the bathroom and back to bed. I can't even take care of my baby, all I do is feed him. I'm in a lot of pain and emotional that I can't do anything for him. I set a boundary before birth that I do not want any visitors for 2 weeks. That fell apart as I really needed to see my mom. She brought some food and talked with me for 20 minutes, and of course since she saw the baby it's only fair that MIL does too. She came when he was 5 days old, and stayed for about 40 minutes. At one point I could hear the baby crying uncontrollably, and still they didn't give me him back. So told me how she woke him up and started patting him for no reason, and tried to put her finger in his mouth, I was so angry. When he was handed back to me, he stunk of perfume, like really, really bad. He was overstimulated, and it took so long to calm him down. She came again today to help, brought groceries, so took him to her straight away without saying anything to me, and she literally had him for half an hour. I was really agitated, not knowing what she's doing to my baby. I was so angry that so just took him while he just got settled just so she can hog over him. When he handed him back cause he needed feeding, he stunk of perfume again. They went outside to smoke, and I was breastfeeding, so came back and said that Mil wants to say bye to the baby. I really didn't want to give him back, but he took him, and she had him for another 30 minutes. I cried so hard. I feel like I'm developing postpartum depression at this point. I don't want her around when I can't even see what she's doing. I just want to be left alone with my baby. I literally can't f***ing walk. Why can't I just heal in peace? I'm 35 weeks and 4 days pregnant. Mil still doesn't know. I feel evil, but more in a smug way than a guilty way, if that makes sense. I personally haven't spoken with her in almost 3 years. DH started talking to her again late last year, but very limited. She only got his phone number a few months ago. She doesn't know where we live, and she doesn't know where he works. He has been good for nearly 6 years at standing up to her and enforcing boundaries. What's more? Oh, during the time they weren't talking, she saved up a whole bunch of money for DH to buy a fixer-upper. If not for the baby, he probably wouldn't have taken the money. I warned him about how gifts from JNMLs normally bite people on the butt, but he says he'll deal with it when it happens. He just wants to raise our child in a house in a small town, rather than in an apartment in a big city. I'm fully on board with this. But in our state, we couldn't touch the most dilapidated hut with a 600-foot pole. So her baby boy will be moving hundreds of miles away from her, funded by her. I did feel guilty. Then it got back to me that she was still lying about me. 2 days before Christmas 4 years ago, after a truly great day of shopping together, she started hitting my DH in a Walmart parking lot. I got in between them. She has told everyone since then that I hit her. She will be 80 this year, 2-time cancer survivor, 5 foot tall, 90 pounds soaking wet. In this corner at the time, I was 150 pounds of pure redneck muscle. If I would have hit her, she would have been in the hospital, I would have been in prison, and DH would have divorced me, because that's still his elderly mom. There is no way he would have stood by me after that. Also, who is outside the Walmarts around Christmas time? The police. But she's still to this day, even after having DH pass along an apology to me, saying that I hit her. My husband works with the elderly. I worked with the elderly before I got pregnant. Not only would I never hurt her or someone like her, I literally wouldn't have been allowed to do my job if I had done something so violent. So I will take her son and my son out of state on her dime, and I'm not going to let myself feel bad about it. Actions have consequences. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.